And we are on the air. This is Kev. As always, please subscribe, hit that like button. And we will always bring you interesting things to talk about. But there have been new developments in the R. Kelly case. With me right now is Roger Stevens of the Roger Report joining us live. Say hello, Roger.
What's going on, folks? This is Roger Stevens of the Roger Report. Please take time out to check out my channel, like and subscribe. It definitely has some good stuff on there. I'm here with you, Mr. Kevin Eston, ready to get it on.
All right, all right. It turns out that Mr. Robert Kelly has made bond. Yes, he's a free man walking. After reports of him not being able to make bond, he somehow made 100K of that bond and was able to go to a McDonald's where he had a rendezvous with a young lady. Now, Mr. Stevens, what does this kind of thing tell you so far? Like, as this ain't even it. It's like this. I don't. It makes it look like a lot of the things that we have talked about for weeks and weeks on this matter. Um, uh, I established a fake outrage. Nobody was mad at this man till that special came on Lifetime.
Yeah, yeah,
But externally, it seems like it's just the opposite on the outside. In the real world, it seems like nobody is really truly outraged with R. Kelly, and this is an example of it. Tell me what you think for a second.
all right. The thoughts that come to my mind that me being born and raised in Chicago, it's probably not that hard to imagine that I love R. Kelly from the music standpoint. He's my basically he was my favorite R&B artist. Period. He just is my favorite R&B artist because the man puts out a lot of great music. Period. But the man got arrested for being a pedophile. As much as I love a person's product, as much as I love what they do, I can't support you being a pedophile. Not I don't trip about no one listening to his music because I'm honestly gonna still listen to his music regardless of what happens in his personal life because that's how I look at it. This is a personal life issue for R. Kelly, but I in no way in the world am I going to help a pedophile. Or no way am I gonna care that a pedophile. And I don't want to say it like he's guilty because every man is innocent until they're proven guilty. I'm just saying in my heart, I personally believe he definitely done did some wrong stuff. I really believe that because I'm from Chicago and I've been hearing so many rumors about this dude for such a long period of time. I do believe he did something wrong, but yes, every man is innocent until they're proven guilty. Um, but the fact that for him to get arrested on these charges, and it seems kind of likely that he's done something based on the fact that his sister used to molest him, and people who've been molested usually are the ones who become predators later on down the road. It's very likely that the man did something wrong. So to hear that some women got together just to post his bail, honestly, it should be surprising. But for me, at this stage in the game of life, no, it's not surprising at all because unfortunately, when it comes to black women, from a general level, they love supporting male criminality amongst black men. When you think about it, when if you know your son then did wrong, you still gonna bail him out of jail, and I understand that because it's your son. But
Yeah,
when
yeah.
it's not your son, women stick by a lot of black guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about sisters and sisters. I ain't talking about other folks and they people because they not really my concern like that. But when it comes to sisters, sisters do like men with criminal issues. They just do. I've noticed that for years now. So
I mean, one would argue with that, but how can you? Think about it. I mean, at least from a media standpoint, I mean, look at let's give an example. Nicki Minaj and the guy that she's dating and her brother. So we're not going to make this about. I'm not going to straw man into Nicki Minaj. I just, anybody out there that knows anything about that situation can look it up. But just let's go ahead and get back to R. Kelly. I don't know. It's like, and this is how it always is for me. It seems like when people see stuff on TV, that's when they want to get mad about it. And that's just all there is to it. Now, if Surviving R. Kelly hadn't come out, the argument would still be split more toward R. Kelly. It just would be. It goes up a little bit, then it dies down. It goes up a little bit again, then it dies down. But at the end of the day, no one has ended R. Kelly successfully yet. And the reason why that is because of shit like this. You're talking about like stuff like this on R. Kelly GoFundMe. Now, there are several stories like this. Now, whoever Mosses and Critics is, I mean, whether they're a credible source or not, but I mean, I've heard about this from several sources. I just wanted, for people to physically see this kind of thing. Roger, have you heard anything about GoFundMe's being started for R. Kelly?
Honestly, as soon as the man went to jail, I started hearing rumors about black women getting together to help bail this man out because his finances are in a mess right now, as they say. So yeah, I actually have been hearing about it. I've been kind of ignoring it because, I'm like, it's real public and I don't even want to say this stuff. I don't even want to say this stuff like that. But yeah, real talk. As soon as the man got locked up and they said his finances were in a mess, so he really couldn't get himself out of jail. As soon as that news broke out, I've been hearing all kind of stuff about black women about to get together to get the man out of jail. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna come up with 100,000 pounds to get him out of jail, and it's sad to me that as much as black men try to do stuff to get things right in the community, and they don't get major support from black women, but a singer who's made millions of dollars, who's accused of pedophilia, and there's a lot of reasons to think it's true that he's actually done these crimes. Like, again, I know he's innocent to proven guilty, but there's a lot of reason to think that it's true that he has done something wrong, that they could come together and put $100,000 on this man just to make his life a little bit more comfortable right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, with all the stuff that black men say that black women need to do or try to help out the community and things like that. I mean, this is a week has not went by and this man done got bailed out. It's crazy. This is crazy, man. This is crazy.
It's craziness. And I'm not saying that there are not people out there that weren't genuine about their outrage for R. Kelly. I'm sure there was, especially victims of abuse. Especially those people. But come on. His whole outlook is like these women supporting other women who have come forward. And you have an overwhelming majority go to bat for this man. So my question is, are entities like the Me Too movement going to call these women out for doing this? Because this is major. This is major right here. This ain't something that you can just...
No, they will not.
Nope.
And let me tell you why. Because this is really what its intention is designed to do. To destroy real masculinity. Black masculinity.
Oh, okay.
There was no such thing as a white masculinity. The history showed them fucking ass and doing all type of faggot shit. Now, the only man that still is keeping his masculinity is the black man. So what now they doing that is say, now, black man, you must engage in homosexuality. You must be bending over and liking it in all aspects. Hell, go further. I want you dressed like a girl every day. Just like you saw the image in the, what's that, the Oscars? Yes.
Yeah, on the Oscars, yeah.
Yeah, so That is what it's tension for. And everybody know this Me Too movement on is really attacking black men that don't say I don't engage in homosexual activity. They love women. They said no, it's false. You should not love women. That's the message they tell you. That's why when I heard about this particular woman, I don't know if it's the same woman that wrote the book on him that bailed him out, from what I'm hearing, but it shows where we at. We don't give a fuck about molestation, rape in the black community. If you're an entertainer, you could go free range. You could fuck any young girl and boy because they molest boys too, as you want, as you desire. And if you're not that, you're demonized to the community. But matter of fact, it's better. The higher you are, and you're found you doing this, the better, the more status you get with people that's already sick in their head. Because only sick people support this. No woman in their right state of mind is going to take their little money and bail out a man that is known to be sitting there taking advantage of underage girls. But then again, a lot of black women don't care about each other, much as their children. And, you know, you might get flagged for this. We might get some heat for this, saying this shit. But what more can a man can sit there and say? It's proven. Look what we're seeing.
And let me stop you for a second. I'm Kev. Let me introduce myself. I don't think we ever met, but I've seen you in other YouTube panels. What's your name, sir?
I go by Chaos Rain.
Chaos Rain.
Yes.
Okay. All right. This is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Okay. By the way. So thank you for coming on board. And I hope that our viewing audience understands that the views expressed are, people are willing to take personal responsibility. It's not really my intention to get flagged, but, speak how you want, bro. But, just if you're conscious of that, then,
Well, so, at times, how the spirit takes some of us, at times I talk about this very briefly on my channel. I don't try to go in too much because, these are subjects that, they said, quote unquote, people are protected. So they said, but when I think about it, I said, okay, if they are so protected, why, when Jesse Smoke did what he did, why isn't the LGBT coming out and protect him for his stupidity?
Because he's not a black woman. Black women say they're not protected, but they definitely are protected. And the fact that they would this boldly go, I mean, I would really like to see the stances women are taking that put the money up. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I mean, again, we know every man is innocent to proven guilty. I'm not going to ever take that from the brother. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on for decades at this point that would have you think he's got to be guilty of pedophilia in some kind of way. Okay? So with all the other things that's been swirling around him and the rumors that's been swirling around him really since the 90s. I know in other places of cities, it got out.
It started with Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm. Bro, being from Chicago, bro, I'm trying to tell you. I've been hearing about this stuff since the 90s. I don't know. I can't tell you when everybody else in the country started hearing about it, but we've been hearing about it since the man had the album 12 play out. We've been hearing about this stuff. So, and people have come to see him, you know what I'm saying? R. Kelly done got met up a couple times, got whooped on and all that type of stuff because stuff had been out. But it's like, bro, this my favorite R&B artist, like real talk. So not people try to give people a pass because you like them and all that type of stuff. Bro, this the number one guy for me as far as on from R&B music. That's the number one dude
too. There's number one guy for a lot of black women too. You got GoFundMe's out there, and then you got this 100K bond posted. Like, what?
Bro, I ain't putting nothing on that. I understand you can love the guy for his music. I get it because I do too. I love the man music. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not giving him nothing to get out of jail. I'm not putting nothing on him coming up with a defense or anything like that. Because in my heart, I got to believe he's done something wrong at this point. We've been hearing stuff far too long. So to me, it's not. I would like to know what she was thinking to give money toward him getting out of jail when they struggling to pay their bills, or you can't keep your lights on, but you're gonna give money to R. Kelly so he can be out. Like this is nuts, man. This
You
is
know, it's not
absolutely nuts to me.
it's not nuts because this is the mentality majority of our people where they at. You know, because remember when you spend your money to things that it doesn't hold no beneficial to you in your life, depending if you got it or not. To say what do you gain as a person taking your little funds, you're taking food mostly not on your pocket but out of your children just to support a known pedophile that everybody knows is clear he is. And not only that, it makes you wonder as a parent or any of those women that have children, and which more they do, that say, so it tells me you introduce predators in your own household. Just like that video from Warsaw Hip Hop when the 16-year-old confronted her mom about the boyfriend that was messing with her, and the mom was sitting there saying, "You trying to take my man from you?" It's like a competition with a lot of these women with their own daughters and sons. Because boys get into. That's how I see it.
Well, honestly, I don't think a lot of black women mind pedophilia. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna say, whoever's listening
That's
to
the
me,
problem.
I'm gonna say, listen to my video that I did it a while back on R. Kelly, and it says, "Are you anti R. Kelly or are you anti pedophilia?" There's a
Hey, you
lot
gotta
of
catch
reasons
me
for me.
with that.
Yeah, well, I just try to keep it real. A lot of sisters, I'm not gonna say all of them. I'm not gonna even say most of them, but a lot of sisters don't really mind pedophilia because I see
Hmm.
too many traces of pedophilia going on in the black community with their daughters. I see these little girls go to school. I know they got this stuff they can't afford to have because they don't have jobs, and unless they dating an older guy, you know what I'm saying, with the money to buy this stuff, I don't know where they're getting it from. But everybody's looking the other way, so they know it goes on, but they just ignoring it. And the fact that they got this bold to say we gonna raise $100,000 for this dude, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't even understand that right now. Like, you know what? Even going to the concerts and all that, you love the man, so you go to this concert because hey, technically he's innocent till proven guilty. I can even see all that stuff, but we they literally got together to give money to a multimillionaire
Which is a
because
problem. Which is a problem.
to,
And it tells you, brother, it makes you want to say, hold on. Aren't you motivated? You tell me you can't bail yourself out? That tells you you are actually done. You know?
well,
Really.
yeah, I mean, to me, it's that individual person who will send money to a multimillionaire, and when you know probably deep in your heart, this man got to be guilty of some of this stuff because it's like I said, I've been hearing about it since the '90s. I don't know about how it got to everybody else's city, but I've been hearing about it since the night when 12 play was hot. I've been hearing these rumors, and
You from Chicago, right?
I'm from Chicago, and I came out of high
You still from
school in
Chicago?
'90. Yeah. I'm born
Okay.
and raised there. I,
Okay,
I
cool.
I came out of high school in '95. We was hearing this stuff before that album was out before I came out of high school. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we've been hearing about this stuff, and
It probably came out in 93 or 94 one of years.
something like that. That sounds about like,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that you will put money together to get that man out right now, it's like it's just it's ridiculous, but it's being so boldly ridiculous that you will support a a person on a who's more than likely a criminal. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying this because he ain't been convicted of nothing yet. But you're gonna do this for somebody who's more than likely a criminal, but you can't even support brothers in the community that's trying to be on the right path and do stuff to make black people's lives better. You can't even support them. But the man needed 100,000, and it didn't take a week to get it. As much as people talk about like Dr. Umar, for instance, and people think he's scamming about the school and all that type of stuff. Look how long it's taking him to raise funds for that school. Whether he gonna open the school or not, I'm not saying Dr. Umar's right in everything he doing, or he ain't a scammer. He a scammer, not a scammer. Whatever, however it come out, he been trying to get money for that school for years. R. Kelly ain't been in jail for a week. That's all I'm saying. The priorities is so screwed up right now.
Well, that's fame. Unfortunately, fame and celebrity worship. Giving monsters passes based on who they are instead of what they've done.
And I'm saying this as a guy who actually likes the man music. I'm not hating on R. Kelly or nothing like that. I like his music. I still listen to his music. But
Well,
bro, if you go down for being a creep and a pedophile,
he's a creep. He's a creep. He's a creep all the way around. I mean,
yeah,
like I wouldn't want anybody's daughter around R. Kelly. Period. And, you know, I don't know why a lot of these parents, as the special, the little 6-part, 7, 8, 9, I don't care, special on Lifetime stated, like it seemed like these parents served their daughters up to R. Kelly.
Oh, they served them up. They served them up.
I'm sorry, I don't want like you. It's hard for me to listen to something that happened in 2015. I understand if it was like 1998, 1999, and it should have been reported then. Like you said, it was going on even before then. But you coming to us after something that happened in 2015, after basically taking your daughter to see this man.
You know what? On that level, honestly, see, I'm a pro freedom person. You know what I'm saying? So I want everybody to have a right to be free to do whatever it is they want to do. But the thing is, if you support freedom, you gotta support people to do some things that you wouldn't necessarily morally agree with. My thing is, as a parent, I mean, I'm not even a parent, but I'm not gonna put a girl around R. Kelly. Plain and simple. I'm just not gonna do it. The man that had too many rumors about him. I'm saying I would never bring anybody's girl. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even bring about somebody's boy around R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, bro, you can sing and all. I like your music, but bro, I'd never put a child around you. Just real talk. I'm just not gonna do it. And
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, after years and years of this, full-grown ass adults should have just known better. Period.
Well, you know, the I think a problem with
and I'm not victim blaming, you know, and I'm not steering away from blaming R. Kelly. I'm just saying, you know, as a parent, those parents should have known better.
Well, I'm not victim blaming either. My thing is like, when it comes to the parents, to me, the parents aren't victims. The parents pimp their child out, and that's how I'm looking at it. Now you can make the argument that a girl is a victim if she's a minor. You can make that argument. I'm with you all day on that one, but I'm looking at what the parents is doing. To me, I think it's disgusting for a parent to bring their child around a person who have so many rumors going on about him when it comes to pedophilia, because at the end of the day, you want to be protective of your child, and a certain amount of rumors should make you give a certain type of response. And I don't have children, yet I wouldn't put a child in due care at all. Like, I'm not gonna let him watch a kid while I go to the bathroom. Like seriously, you know.
Like you see this image right here, and most definitely, you know, I feel like black women do need to be protected, but at the same time, I feel like the most unprotected group is the black child. I feel like that, you know, the black girls do matter, yes, but you know, I personally think it's black children. Period. And it's just like with parents that took their kid to Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, it's like this I mean, and you talking about years and years and years after the fact. I mean,
and they got documentaries coming out from Michael Jackson next too.
Yeah, it is. They're like they got some critically acclaimed film at some, like they say it's pretty bad too.
And you know how this game really works, brothers. They work on us. This guy's dead now. That's gonna be 10 years now. By June 20th, he's gonna be gone this earth 10 years. Now they say it's time to pull this out, because one thing I'm starting to understand, and it's been clear now, these are distractions. They come out with shit that has been out there, their whole evidence. And I did a YouTube on this. Now that I'm talking about this, about the reward and consequence being entertainers, musicians, and athletes. And I said it best. Once you're in that life, they got to have somebody, or you probably doing something from the start for them to have you as one of those 3 echelons in entertainment business. Because there's no way how you're going to make this money and you don't got enough on you. And if you don't got much on it, they're gonna make sure you get some on it because you're gonna fall to the wayside to their plots because they create a dossier on a lot of black people, especially black males. So when it's time to liquidate them, they got all this ready. So I'm already convinced black women could do what the fuck they want with R. Kelly if they try to keep him out of jail. That's not gonna happen because it's time now for them. Says time to collect and liquidate you completely. And what I mean by liquidate, because now you have no purpose now. You're already in your 50s, and there's nothing more you could give to these music industries. So what they do now, like they do with all artists, they find ways to get that money back in droves. They tried to do this with Bill Cosby, but it took a while. But eventually they get him in jail. And now they're going to do it to any other artist or anybody that is making millions of dollars. When it's time to collect, they collect. And they collect very hard.
Yeah, that's it. That whole thing's about money.
And my thing is, it's also about the attack on the black man's image because, like, when you see these signs saying that the most unprotected in America is a black woman, that's just a complete and outright lie. Black women are protected by black men and agencies.
Absolutely. And it's a dumb narrative to spread. We protect black women. If you don't feel protected by a black man, you need to align yourself with a black man, period. Don't come with these complaints when it doesn't work out. No one else is allowed to complain. Why should you be? And I do realize some things do happen to black women. I understand that.
Things do happen, but things can happen randomly to anyone. The only reason that black women are actually pushing this narrative that they're unprotected is because black men do not protect them from the man they're sleeping with. Now, if you take out all the cases, if you take out all the cases of a woman having an issue with a man she's sleeping with, if you remove those out the equation, ain't that much happening to black women. Now, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Anybody is randomly attacked. Anybody can be the victim of an armed robbery or a burglary or something like that. Okay, yeah, that type of stuff exists for all communities. But other than black women being attacked by the man they're sleeping with, because other black men we don't jump into those situations sometimes because a lot of us are smart enough not to. But if you remove those out the equation, ain't that much happening to black women. They're protected by so many different agencies. The government protects them. You know, they act the way they act because of all the protection they have.
Title 9, no fault reverse divorce. Yeah, Cerulean said all this.
Yeah, I mean, think about this. Even with this R. Kelly situation, let's say he's convicted of having sex with a girl. Let's say he's convicted. Do you think they're gonna do something where the girl's mother gonna go to jail? Even though, realistically speaking, you live in America, what 14-year-old girl can get to her boyfriend's house without her parental help? Where does this happen at? You know, when I remember 14-year-old girls needing assistance to visit their boyfriend, if they even were allowed to have a boyfriend. That's what I remember. I don't remember 14-year-old girls going to especially their famous boyfriend's house. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like R. Kelly lived. R. Kelly just wasn't in the hood living amongst the people. R. Kelly was in a very nice neighborhood when he was living in Chicago suburbs. You know, it take a little effort to get to him. You know, especially at the I'm not gonna say the high school name that he used to attend, but I definitely heard plenty about how he used to go back to that particular high school to mess with certain chicks from there because he was the alumni. You know, and man, the man crib wasn't nowhere near that school, so there was some help going on some kind of way. And I have a hard time believing that it was dudes trying to help get women to R. Kelly without no benefit to themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just not me and we compete for each other. I'm not gonna get a girlfriend and help her have sex with the next man. That's just not what I'm gonna do. It don't make any sense. So now let's say he get convicted. If he get convicted, are they gonna go after the people that helped this child get to R. Kelly? Because she don't have enough agency to do it
No,
herself.
no. And
So
let me tell you
that being
why
the
they're not
case,
gonna do that.
yeah,
Because in this particular country, see, they like you said, they do protect black females. And with the parents that said the known that they were culprits of sending them to the predator, that they're gonna get um they're gonna probably not gonna get a slap in the wrist for this. So at the end of it, it's really attack on a black man, but this is like a bad representative of a black man because black man has a track record. You know what I'm saying? And now it says representation of all black men when they put these so-called celebrities. And this is my problem, and I don't like that people don't understand they use black celebrities as representation of all black people in America. Because if you look outside the world, and our military dude said this on another stream, other worlds, when they watch black people in America, they watch Love and Hip Hop, Housewives, Scandal, all these little degenerate shows, even Empire, and they feel that depicting that is the reality of what black people are in this country. So when they see even celebrities like that, they're gonna have the same perception that this is Black America, which I don't like. And the day,
we, I know that to be true, but my thing is, I do understand that, but I can't even necessarily blame those people. They're just watching what America shows to them. So I don't even blame those people for even feeling that way because you only know what you actually know. But the fact that black people who actually live here tripping, like, because I honestly was talking to people over the weekend, and I'm like, and I'm literally saying stuff like this to them. I say, are you mad at R. Kelly, or you stop listening to his music? And some of them say no, some of them say yeah, and I'm like, and if they ask me why you ask, well, the white man told us we're supposed to be mad right now, so I'm just trying to see if you follow him. And that's literally how I was saying it. Well, the white man say we supposed to be mad at R. Kelly right now because the
mm-hmm.
white man made sure that they put a show out about him, and he's doing, because that whole surviving R. Kelly thing, which I didn't personally watch because I
I
have
didn't
no
really
interest
watch it because
in it.
I already confirmed that the man was a predator back on 15, actually better, 16 years ago when that tape came out in 2002, 2003, and then he kind of got it thrown out in 2005, I believe. So I already knew it. I haven't seen, and the problem is I never seen the sex tape, but when I heard about it and people were talking about it, and while it was still circulating, I had a good understanding. I said, yeah, this is where it's at. So if he got out of that, then really he was still reliable that during that time. But now because he's been liquidated and he's been liquidated now for some time now, and he started to turn on a lot of people that protected him. Kind of one dude, Superfly, said that he paid, he kind of disrespect them. So and they got these tapes, and this is my problem with a lot of predators. Why would the fuck would you tape yourself having sex with underage girls and have multiple tapes? That's a mental illness right there.
Yeah, absolute stupidity in that department. But you know what? I don't mind the fact that if all this is true and it leads back to we got him on tape, I'm not tripping about that. I just say he an idiot for doing it. But if it takes him off the street, I can't be mad at it because it got you off the street. So at the end of the day, my thing is like if you look at the culture of what's going on in America, like we know some parents are involved in R. Kelly doing anything with a child. But my thing is
Mm-hmm.
this: if you were a black man by yourself and you got caught up in getting some girl that's underage to R. Kelly, they'll hit you for being an accomplice. But now when a black woman is involved, are they going to even start going after accomplices? Because you know how it is. If you if
Yes,
you
Mm-hmm.
if you involved where you and your friend get in your car, you drive to a home, your friend say, hey, stop me by such and such real quick, and you sitting in the car don't know nothing, he go into the house and kill somebody, and he come back, get in your car, and y'all leave, you don't even know he killed anybody, you still an accomplice of the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Because when black men are involved and it's just black men, you an accomplice no matter what. So my
But
thing is, black men can avoid charges just by being involved with black women because they're so protected.
it's much deeper than that, and we all know women on this line. When you conduct war, you don't conduct war on women should you conduct war with other men. And the whole thing with warfare is always to attack men. That's why you
Yep.
see like that men get locked up the most. That's why you see them get target most of everything because war is always conflicted by other men to attack other men because we deal with a natural instinct of survival here, because you can't have a real man around while you're dealing with another man that's trying to compete for not only the resource but females, women, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Children. So obviously if a woman is accomplished of the crime, she most likely might get exempt on the average than two men and a man was accomplice. Because, like I said, the whole purpose of actual institution we call prison is to always lock up men. That's what it was intended for a little thing.
Exactly.
Just like if you're a man and let's say you did not even do it or you were alleged as a rape, right? If it's
Mm-hmm.
something non-black, most likely you will do the time, and not only they will slap you with a what do they call those things? Like you were a rapist and all that stuff.
Yeah, a
And,
sexual offender. You'll be a sexual
and
offender
when
forever.
you find out that it was a lie, they will not unslap you with that. They'll say, "Oh, we sorry." You'll still be known as a predator. No, it was a fucking lie.
Yep. Yep.
Why?
That's happening to a lot
Because
of men.
women always attack on men. That's why if you look at what the Jesse Smokes, I'm going back to this motherfucker again. This homosexual. That when he did that, and I found out he's going to not only get slapped with a fine, but he might do time in jail. I just sit back and think critically and say, imagine this bullshit. Women sit to tell lie on men all day, and when they found that it was a lie, they don't get the slap. They don't get no fine or a little short time in prison. They sit there and say, "Oh, my bad." But when a male does this, he gets the full extent of the law. So I had to sit to conclude, say, as a man, the war is always attack on you. It will not stop. It will never stop. They just find every little thing just to lock you up because they really want to get you from the start. They really want to lock you up for
Yeah,
really nothing. They just want to throw you there just for
yeah,
the fun of it. But
that
they
is
can't.
that
So
is a fact. That is a fact because it's like a woman you don't know can walk up to you and say this person did such and such. You're guilty. The burden of proof is on you automatically. You
Yeah.
don't get a pass. Period. And go ahead. Go ahead. You want to say something?
yeah.
No, no, I was disagreeing with you.
So this is what I had to conclude on this. So I tell most men you have to be somewhat careful. Especially if you're more logic in your thinking and you're more aware of things, you have to be a little bit more mindful of what you're doing. The ones that are not, what I'm saying, I'm sorry for the most brothers that don't get it, but they should really understand the world works now when it comes to you as a man.
It
I'm saying
ain't.
it's not nice to you. It's gonna go come down on you. It's gonna attack you in all angles. You gotta be prepared for the war. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not fair, but it's just the way it is. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's just
You
the way
gotta,
it is.
you
And
gotta understand. Other men kill other men, and they find ways to neutralize other men by any means necessary. It's never always on women. So when women that sit there and talk that bullshit that we attack, no, you live in a box, sweetie. You need to get a reality check. I mean, I'm not sure why most men had to sit there hear some actual critical men to tell you say the real reality is because they've been comfortable. You know what I'm saying? They've been listening to other non-black women of they're being attacked, but no, said these other non-black women don't defend you, and not only that, they still marry and sleep with not only their man, but they sleep with your man while you're at
Yeah.
home holding a pillow.
hmm
You're home with your animals, or whatever what sisters do. So, I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Yeah.
that was a very specific situation. uh, yeah, but oh god, these ads. I'm sorry, I just wanted to bring this up. I found an article on it says suburban Chicago woman posts R. Kelly $1 million bail. 47-year-old woman is described as a friend of Kelly's. So she's been down since the 90s. The article states, and this is from consequenceofsound.net, a 47-year-old woman from suburban Chicago paid the entirety of R. Kelly's bail, allowing the embattled R&B singer to be free from jail as he awaits his trial on sexual abuse charges. According to the Chicago Tribune, the unidentified woman described as a friend of Kelly's posted the bail, 10% of the $1 million bond set by a judge on Monday. And this is a picture of R. Kelly right beside a McDonald's.
Well, yeah, I know he went to McDonald's right after he got out. That I know.
Yeah, get some Mickey D's and go find some nice fresh tail.
You know, honestly, I personally feel a little bit better if it did just come from one person, because I heard so much about all these fundraisers they're going to do for R. Kelly. So I actually feel a little bit better if it just came from one person, because had it come from a bunch of multiple people, like I say, you got bills to pay and all this other stuff going on in your life, but you got money to put on his bail, that don't look good at all for the Black community. That just don't look good at all.
It does not look good at all. In regards, people say they're struggling. And I say, how the fuck you struggling? You're paying a fucking criminal that's already a millionaire that you don't fuck with money to get out. To do what? So he could sing more songs and still have access to young children? Are you serious?
Well, and you know what? I don't even know what to say about this particular person, because, I mean, I understand you want to do something for your friend, but do you really not believe he did some of this stuff at this point? Like, how? I mean, I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, like, again, we're all innocent till proven guilty, but Lord have mercy. How well do you know him to even believe that he didn't do this? Because why would you bail him out if you really feel in your heart that he has done this stuff?
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. So I mean, to me, like, based on everything I've heard personally, I wouldn't make a big issue to defend this man at all, and let alone putting up one single dime for this man's freedom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? And I just want to push the fact. I feel okay with you putting money on his books if you really believe he did no wrong. And yeah, we all innocent to proven guilty. I know we live in a system where it's like so against Black men. You know what I'm saying? But it's just in this one particular case, like, man, it's just been so much stuff hovering around. And I can't tell you personally in my heart that I feel like he hasn't been a pedophile, because I've been hearing way too many rumors. And then even some of the sources that I've heard rumors from, because keep in mind, I was born and raised here in the city of Chicago. So I've heard stuff that I know have not went public. I've heard people come out. I've heard people say out their own mouth that, yeah, we found my little cousin was with R. Kelly. We had to go get her. We put some hands on her and all that type of stuff. I've heard people say this. Now, I've never
Back in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Shit.
So, like, I can't say that I was being a reporter and went out to verify him and all that type of stuff. Only thing I can say is, why would that particular person or these particular people that told me certain things, why would they just lie to me for no reason? Like, who am I to lie to on such a level? Not saying that people won't lie, but you know what I'm saying? I never verified the stuff, but I'm just saying I've heard people come out their own mouth who say they have a personal connection to it.
So y'all in Chicago knew who R. Kelly was anyway.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why R. Kelly has been attacked a few times because of certain rumors and things that's been going on with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it ain't been reported big, but like, R. Kelly done been jumped on a couple times. He done felt some hands over some of these rumors.
Okay. So let me ask y'all both a question. What would you definitely say to the women who would put up money for R. Kelly? I mean, you know, now keep in mind, you know, we live in an age where we're on social media, where we have we have to hear about a lot of what these women have to say, but we can't. It seems like the narrative is we can't talk to them about anything, and I think, personally, this is all foolishness. If you really felt for those women who are quote unquote victims of R. Kelly, then why are you putting money up? And most of all, why you're saying stuff like women should be correcting women? When is that going to happen? Are you going to correct these women? So that's just me. That's just addressing everybody. I'm like, this shit is crazy. It's
My
crazy
thing-
to hear. It's crazy to hear. It's crazy to see this. One of the first headlines of your day when you first wake up. R. Kelly Bond was posted. A so-called quote unquote broke R&B singer.
My thing is this has to go to what you feel in your heart as a person, because to me this is about a personal decision about who you are as a person. If you really believe R. Kelly didn't do none of this stuff, and you believe the system just out to get him because he a black man, I understand you putting money on his book. I get that. But my thing is, do you really honestly believe the man didn't do anything? Because as much as I love R. Kelly music, you see what I'm saying? The man dropped an album, I was on it. So I totally get the that fan spirit, quote unquote, or whatever about R. Kelly. I get it.
This is fangirling at the highest right here.
Oh, absolutely.
You post bail for an accused pedophile.
Well, see, but that's why I say it's got to go in what you believe, because the system does do a lot of stuff to get black men. But my thing is, we've been hearing so much stuff about this dude, and then the tape that circulated back in the day. There's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, maybe slightly different perspective for me because I'm actually from the city, and I know people who said that they were connected to people personally with the involvement of R. Kelly. So I'm just going, what do you actually believe in your heart? Now, for me, I believe he has done something. I definitely believe it. You know what I'm saying? Even though he hasn't been convicted, I do believe he's done something. So as much as I like the man music, ain't nowhere in the world I got a dime for him to help him with the situation. I ain't got a dime for him. Honestly, I just don't. You know, he ain't got a penny for the man. But if you really believe in your heart that he didn't do nothing, okay, I understand that. But how do you even get to that point where you really believe in your heart that he didn't do anything with all the exposure that's been going on about what the man's done?
I think all these females know who R. Kelly is. I mean, and evidence of that is the little V75 club appearance that he had when those girls were screaming, "R. Kelly, take me hostage."
Yeah, I heard about that article too, and I said, just shaking my head, but it shows you where they're at. You know, so now, mind you, molestation might have played into some of these women's psychology, why they would say some stupid shit like that. But really, this is where they're at now, you know? And it tells you when it's like this, brothers. Women hold the power of sex at the end of the day. We all know this.
Yeah, I agree with that. Is that sex?
So they know who they want to mess with, who they want to actually engage and procreate and deal with. That's why when they come out and say they want an actual quote-unquote good man or to be taken care of, they're lying to themselves, because the only time that comes to psychology is when they about to hit that wall.
Yeah. I mean,
now, most women don't understand what we mean by wall. Listen, you didn't hear what I just said, ladies? The wall. You come in with your track record, your baggage, and all this up to a man that's already probably well established, and you think he wants to deal with you. No, you better clean yourself up. You know what I'm saying, and if you listen to any older black woman tell you that, then they're lying to you, because they have not success in their life. Man, they're probably grumpy and lonely too. Keep it real.
Well, you know, the R. Kelly situation, in my opinion, is really showing. It's really showing that black women, from, you know what I'm saying, from on a large standpoint, you know, I ain't gonna say all of them, it ain't all of them, but black women from on a large level, they don't care nothing about you being a criminal. They basically reward you for being a criminal. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to black men,
not only black women, but the black community, they praise people that do criminal shit before they praise somebody doing successful shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is not nothing new. This has been going on for decades.
Yeah, it has.
You know? And so now, when it really, remember, times are getting hard now. So now they're gonna feel they want to get straightened up, and so the dudes that's doing something for their life, they're gonna try to flock to them now. But I tell you, most of these dudes, they're not gonna deal with it, because some of them, and it's like this: black women, and people got to understand, black men really want black women. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't, they would have left a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? You will see much more of a dynamics of our community in mass numbers. They still want to try to deal with black women. It is some of them, they come to a point they just don't want to deal with the fuckery.
as they should. But I'm gonna say, to me, is not really a quote unquote black community issue, because when you look at the narrative that's being pumped out of the black community, is always from the female side. Because white supremacy that controls major media
Mm-hmm.
always want the female side. They don't care about the black male side. And unless you agree with women, they didn't put you on television. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Rarely does a man who didn't agree with what the women were saying in the community was even allowed to be on any type of television show, or be interviewed for any major publication. This is about, you know what I'm saying, black women have loved criminality, and white
Mm-hmm.
men have told them to love it when it comes to black men, and they basically have agreed with white supremacy from a large standpoint when it comes to this stuff, and because they love it, this what's going on with R. Kelly right now is just proof of the love that they have for whatever the white man say do. The white man say, "Hey, it's time to be enraged about R. Kelly." We put out a special. Like, I mean, real talk. I don't care. I didn't care nothing about his little special. Surviving R. Kelly. Why? Because I've been hearing about this stuff for decades, literally. Like, so I don't need a TV
Yeah.
show to tell me I'm supposed to be upset about X, Y, and Z. I know if we really cared as a society and as a people, this would have been dealt with long time ago. That's what I
Of
do
course.
know.
But remember, the reason why it was dealt with in mass numbers because he was not messing with non-black women. All he was messing with pure black women, from what I'm hearing. That's
Yeah,
all
but I
he was.
mean that don't have anything to do with it. If he,
And think about this society don't give a fuck about black men. Obviously, they know said with black women, they already paint a picture of them already. So if another man is messing with them, they're deemed as what they call Jezebel. They're fast. They want it. So why bother? Look into it. You know, just like
I know.
when the first black woman came up with a Me Too, it was a black woman came up with that. You see, her shit got derailed and it now shipped to white women last year,
Well,
just
I
like that.
mean, but honestly, black women are America's hoes. You see what I'm saying?
Mm,
When you start talking about from a societal perspective,
mm-hmm,
black women are America's hoes.
mm-hmm.
When
I'm,
you get the
I'm,
woman that
I'm,
you feel. No, I'm saying when it comes to the men of America and the things they talk about. You see what I'm saying? Because I know what I'm saying is a big statement, but
yeah,
when you start talking about non-black men not being able to come up on the women they want, if you're a white man and you have to compete against other white men that do well, when you do well as far as how people will look at you in the black community, ain't necessarily doing so well when it comes to people of the white community. So what other races of men do, they will mess with black women when they can't get the women they want of their own community. Or if they are what people like to say socially awkward or whatever, they come into the black community, they learn to be a little bit smoother. You know what I'm saying? They get some sexual experience, whatever the case is. Then they go back to their own women with experience from black women. So I know people ain't gonna like me for saying it, but I'm talking about how they are viewed. Period.
Yeah, they're viewed in a negative
Groups
light.
of men
And
view black women. They're America's hoes.
the funny thing, a lot of black women don't have a problem with that, which is scary. The TV shows that they portray of them is a evidence in itself, and they have no problem with that. But you see, the problem is they want to engage in the fuckery in peace and don't say nothing about it. And I say, how the hell are you gonna ask for protection, or and you engage in behavior that is very detrimental to you and the safety of your counterpart? If that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. Now, listen up, fellas. I have Chris Brown displayed up here. Now, when Chris Brown and Rihanna, when that incident first happened, even when the pictures were released of Rihanna and how bruised and banged up she was, there were women on the radio, there was women on social media instantly forgiving Chris Brown. Like, we still love you, Chris.
Because he's an artist. That's why.
They're artists. Yeah, I mean, these two guys. I mean, even though they've gone down very different paths, they parallel because when they're in the middle of the shit, there are always those kinds of women that are gonna come out and support. Now, let me ask you let me ask y'all a question. Who supports the Well, we already answered that question. I was about to ask a stupid one, but when they when people accuse black men of supporting criminals, what is your response to that? Like when a feminist in particular says something like, "Black men abandoned us for R. Kelly," some shit like that, or like I was listening to a broadcast on another YouTuber yesterday, and they were just pushing a whole black men aren't protecting black women stuff. They were just and in fact they said it like every 2 minutes. Black men aren't protecting black women. There were a couple of guys that were saying that shit too. So like seriously. So what do you have to say to these people?
Well, I'll say this: when it comes to guys will repeat stuff that women say. It's because they haven't researched the information yet themselves. But once you start researching the information, you start getting a whole different angle, because propaganda says a lot of stuff that's just totally untrue. And when it comes to black women being protected, the only way that black women aren't being protected is the men that they're actually sleeping with. And when it comes to who likes the criminal, does the criminal go to when he comes out of jail or he comes out of prison? He goes to his mama. You know what I'm saying? Because his mama gonna love him no matter what, and ain't gonna put nothing on him. He don't really care if he changes his character or not. Or he goes to who? His girlfriend. Or you know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. Criminals go back to a female that will support them regardless of their character changing or not. When men have to deal with criminal black men, even if it's your own son, you may tell your son, okay, look, bro, you can come over here, but you got to totally change. You got to get it together. You got to do X, Y, and Z. They put expectations on them and everything.
And that's one warning.
Exactly.
And that's what, and mind you, depending on the criminal act, what the son know and know better, most likely the father could banish him completely, depending on the act. So you see, there's a cutoff point between women and men in regards to deal with their sons in regards to criminality. And this is why most men still conduct and engage. So, and think about this. And I'm not gonna stay on this long. I'm gonna step out for this. That I hear stories of young youth. Of young youth that had to sell drugs in the household because their mom wanted them to bring money, and some were scared and terrified they didn't want to do it, but because they have no choice. And these are young youth. Some of them, from what I'm hearing, some of the stories. So it seems to me that under their care, it is proven the reality that they see foot that they always complain about. You create the reality what you see foot. You know, if you have boys, the best thing you could do as a mother is either you're gonna put your son in male dominant space, or put him through men that you know respectful that you could trust to, guide them and stuff. Especially if the father's not around or he plays that role. You should not be for your son just to take care of him throughout his development in life, because what happens, you are perpetuating either a criminal or a simp or a feminized black male within time, which is something that you might want to control, but the average woman that is feminine don't want to deal with. So you create the reality. And a lot of women don't know this. Actually, they do know this, but they don't care because they want to create this reality because it's a sense of power. That's why they have a problem with actual male authority and male leadership. They say they want leadership, but they're bullshit.
I haven't seen anything. I mean, how do you? But see, what is the definition of black male leadership to them though? I mean, how do we ourselves define black male leadership? I mean, from what I've gathered, it's they want black men to throw bags of money at the community, and that's how you lead. Now, this is what I'm gathered so far, because it's like well, actually, it's much deeper. Say what?
They want black leadership to what they say is leadership. They want the man to step up when they deem it's necessary. But other than that, they don't want no male leadership. They want to still be in control power.
Well, when you talk about stepping up, in terms of stepping up, the one figure that I do see getting recognition for quote unquote stepping up is the stepfather.
Mm-hmm.
A cleanup man, so to speak. I'm not saying it's like that for all stepfathers. I'm sure there's genuine love in a lot of those situations. But if you look at social media, you'll see it's like, okay, you'll see the sentiment toward real dads as opposed to stepdads. Now, that's another bad toxic media narrative that is just untrue, that mostly black fathers aren't there for their children. So when you hear something talked about as far as stepfatherhood, you're like, oh, good, this guy gets it. He stepped up. When you hear something about real fatherhood, oh, why do these guys want recognition for doing their job? That kind of shit.
Well, this is the thing. When you talk about black male leadership starts with fatherhood. So black women, from a general standpoint, are not interested in black male leadership because they purposely have their children in a position where their father is not going to be there. Because when you start looking at the numbers, like a very interesting figure in 2017, 72% of black children were born out of wedlock. They are purposely putting themselves in position for the father not to be involved. So if they wanted black male leadership, they would be having children where they're married to the father, so therefore he will be involved. But they're purposely not doing that. Now, when it comes to stepfathers, of course, they're going to promote being a stepfather because it allows them to do whatever they want to do with, have kids by compromised men men that are in bad situations. And when they eventually get with somebody, if they can get a guy to marry them, they want a stepfather so their stepfather cannot truly even run the household because he's limited based on the fact that those are not his children, so he can't do X, Y, and Z. And if you can't do X, Y, and Z, you cannot command and respect your own home, nor can you lead the family in the direction you want it to go. So all this is done deliberately. So black women are not interested in black male leadership based on their actions, not based on what people guess, not based on what people feel. But if we look at their actions clearly show that they are not interested in black male leadership.
Yeah, well, let me just add this. I want to challenge any female listening or that are about to listen. I want, since, they throw up black male leadership and how there's a lack thereof on black male leadership, I would like to hear a clear definition from them on what black male leadership is. And since I am a black male, and since black females bring it up so much, I'll decide if that's a proper definition. But I need to hear it. I need to hear a clear definition of what they think black male leadership is, because they don't know if they say there's none around. They don't know, obviously. I don't know if you fellas agree, but before any discussions on what black male leadership is, I like to hear a clear definition from them, because they keep saying there is no black male leadership.
Well, they're gonna keep saying that because as long as they keep the blame on black men, they don't have to answer for what they're actually doing. Because the one thing they do not lack is black male leadership. That's the one thing they definitely don't have a lack of. It's there and available because there's so many men that's living in a correct manner when it comes to society and how we feel as a people. There's no trouble finding a good guy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what women always say. Well, there's not enough leaders around. There's not enough good men around. No, there's plenty of them around because there's so many trying to avoid bad women. It's plenty of them around. They ain't going for them, is what it is, because they cannot control those brothers that are leaders. And black women like to deal with a compromised man. A man with a felony, a man with a bunch of kids where he can't live the way he needs to live. A man is just in some kind of bad position. So now they go after those men, but there's only so many compromised men to deal with. But it's plenty of men that are not compromised, that are single and available. Even a lot that don't even have children, but they ain't interested in being with those men over the long term.
Yeah, 40% don't have children.
Yeah. So there's plenty of them free. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. But with those men, all they're looking for is financial favors and sex. They're not looking for long-term relationships because they're not trying to hit nothing from that guy.
Let me ask you a question.
And they're comfortable with that. They're comfortable with that. To be honest with you, they're very comfortable with that.
Let me ask y'all a question. What if R. Kelly was not a compromised individual? Say he was married, faithful husband, known as Father of the Year. he still had his impact on the world, but in a different way. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, all these allegations come up of him having, being a quote unquote pedophile and, molesting and, just victimizing young women. Mm-hmm. Would you think that he would be treated as well and as forgiving?
No, black women would claim they would claim they were disgusted by him. That's what their claim would be.
I'm just saying, he's not Sex Me R. Kelly. He's made good music, and
to be honest with you, my perspective. This is the last thing I would say. Kind of step out. That if he had no actual track record with with the Aaliyah and the tapes never were circulating like that, then obviously it'd be hard to pin it on him that anything on, because they gotta have something on him. But because he had this background and this dossier on him, it's a different story. I'm not sure black men will sit there have the same effect they have now towards him. But like I said, entertainers get it easy in regards to criminal acts, either true or not true. It is the average person that they put out and said that they did something will get it even harder, because our people worship entertainers. They look to them as leaders because they got a sense of money. Mm. So that's all I'm gonna say on that.
Money, power, and fame.
Nah, I'm gonna go in and double down on the fact that if the man was doing, I don't care what kind of music he made. If he got, say, married by 2000 because he was just getting hot in like 95 and he was married to a black woman and there were never any rumors, never any tapes, never any accusals, and then all of a sudden in 2018, now all this stuff just happened all at one time. Black women would want to see him torched, plain and simple, because his image would be good at that point. And if you look at who black women attack, they have a very clear track record of attacking men that have good images. When black men have negative images, they do not attack them.
Let me ask you a question. Is any of R. Kelly's accusers white women?
Not that I'm aware of, I'll say that.
Yeah, let me see if I can research that fact real quick. I don't think so. If you think it'd be different if their accusers were white women.
No, I mean, because if a white woman were accusing, they would have a whole community of people that would not support pedophilia when it comes to a black man having sex with an underage white girl. Yeah, the white community wouldn't let that ride. So he'd have been locked up. Or at least they would have been attempted to lock him up, like on some real stuff,
So, do you think R. Kelly should go down?
I mean, my thing is, if they got the man on tape having sex with a child, my thing is, bro, you brought it on yourself at the end of the day. I can't say nothing to defend that. I like your music. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep listening to it. But at the end of the day, your personal life is your personal life. And if you out there having sex with children when you could have all these grown women that would have happily had sex with you, bro, you made some poor choices and you got to deal with it.
I think he had sex with grown women too.
I mean, I know he did, but I'm just saying, he had a big enough supply where you never even had to worry about it.
Think about it though. Think about a 47-year-old woman, grown ass woman, posted that bill. You don't think that there's a possibility that something sexual could be involved with that?
No, I'm pretty sure more than likely he probably already hit that. You know what I'm saying?
Say, oh, there would be past conquest.
I mean, I'm not gonna say he don't get down with her now. R. Kelly probably has sex with a wide range of women when it comes to ages. I'm pretty sure he does, because women just like famous people, and they like power, they like celebrities. So at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure all kinds of women of all kinds of ages still having sex with the brother. But you know what I'm saying? My thing is, if you get caught for having sex with a 14-year-old, because that's what's being accused, bro, I can't help you with that. You was dumb. You shouldn't put it on tape. You're an idiot. And if you go down for being an idiot, bro, then you got to pay the cost. It just is what it is. I can't support you on that level. You know what I'm saying? But you know, so to me, I'm not looking at it as far as like a color issue. I do believe the white community would have took it way more serious if he got accused of having sex with a white girl, because they don't play that when it comes to outsiders. There's a lot of pedophilia goes on in the white community based on what we hear, and they like the main ones to do it. But I've never heard where they've been okay with a black man having some type of pedophilia relationship with a white girl. Like, I don't think they would allow that. If white men do it, that's one thing, but I don't believe they would ever let black men do that. So that's the only difference I see when it comes to black women. I don't see it as a lack of them being protected. I see it as a lack of them not caring. They want to have sex with grown men, because ever since I was in high school, I mean, when I got into high school, that's when I found out, you compete with grown men for women. Because at the end of the day, who wasn't in high school and you didn't have girls bragging about their grown boyfriends?
I mean,
Yeah, my boyfriend, he's out of college. He got a job doing such and such, and he just bought me these shoes. Like, you've been hearing about that stuff ever since you've been in high school. At least for most boys.
I will go ahead and confirm that, because I've heard shit as early as junior high. Now, I don't like to refer back to that memory, but it's true. And it's kind of disturbing once you think about it, because once you have a child, that's something that I feel like they're going to go into. I was hearing stuff as early as elementary school, and these were little boys talking about grown women. I mean, there is definitely a hidden subculture, that people don't necessarily like to admit to, but it's out there, and it's been out there forever. But when, like I said earlier in the conversation, when the TV says something, then we're upset about it.
Yeah. My thing is, I don't have any new feelings for this case. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to R. Kelly, I've been hearing about this stuff since the 90s. There's no rage for me to have at this point.
But me personally, I'm to the level where it doesn't even really matter one way or the other. It's to that point. It's to that point, because one second we're mad at R. Kelly, the next second we don't care, the next second he's going to jail, the next second you hear stuff like this. So it's really to the point where this might even be the last time I talk about this. It's just that it is somewhat appalling for all the fake outrage displayed that something like this would happen. And and when people say the black community protects monsters, like seriously, we don't address this stuff, then this arguably could be used as an example.
I'm not gonna even say that, man. Based on my perception,
you got this dude, still though, for what he's accused of.
No. Based on my perception, though, black women protect those guys. If a guy messes with someone's daughter, and I've been on this earth for a little while now, I ain't never heard of one dude finding out his daughter get messed with and then go into a rage. You see what I'm saying? Now, I would say this, when it comes to the R. Kelly situation, this might be the first time that I've heard of a man not trying to cut that man's head off. But obviously some money is involved.
But on that special, there were black dads on there.
Exactly. That's why I just said money's involved.
Looking stupid as fuck. Sitting up there, what happened? What happened to my daughter? It's like, I can blame him, dude. You're supposed to be protecting your daughter from shit like this.
This is the only time I've ever heard of a man and something going on with his daughter, and he ain't trying to knock his head off. But I do have the understanding that the love of money is the root of all evil.
I'm sure they want to knock his head off now.
No, I don't believe that.
In the first place, why even take him to R. Kelly? Unless you cash in.
Now, my thing is, I don't think those men want to knock his head off. The love of money is the root to all evil. I know everybody always say money is the root to all evil, but it actually say the love of money is the root to all evil. And if black fathers have been involved, they know their daughter's doing something, trust me, the bread was involved. Because if they weren't getting paid off, And why would they even let it go down? You ain't never heard of a person who's not famous let his daughter be molested by any dude. Have you? You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, who protects these men that do stuff like that? It's the women. Now, don't tell your father about it because he gonna do X, Y, and Z. You see what I'm saying? Because that's just realistic. If a man finds out that his daughter been touched, he going to beat the brakes off that other dude. That's just the way it is. Him and his friends. You know what I'm saying?
Any father in their right mind, like, you know, here's one thing I can say. Like, you know, I think about my daughter's well-being every second of every minute of every day. Something happens to her, it's the end of everybody's world as far as I'm concerned, because I'm that guy. Don't mess with my kid. And you can trust and believe that I will not expose my child to a situation, especially like that. No. I mean, no. I don't care how bad. Like, and then they were making excuses in the special. Oh, she was just gonna. She was crying, talking about she'll never speak to us again if we didn't take her to see R. Kelly. Come on with them fucking excuses, man. Come on.
I don't believe none of that. My thing is they got paid off, bro. At the end of the day, money changes stuff. Because as much as I was just telling this to a lady the other day, as much as white folks hated black folks. Just for an example, when it came to basketball back in the day, when white folks needed to win because money was involved, they started letting black men into the NBA. You see what I'm saying? Money changes all type of standards. Don't nobody care about standards with money coming to play to a certain degree. Well, I ain't gonna say don't nobody because I don't want to include everybody, but there's a lot of people who do not care about standards once money is involved. And in this situation where you have an R. Kelly being accused of dealing with underage girls and you have some fathers around, guess what? Money is in play. Standards ain't being held because money's in play.
But you know what, though, also, this is a way for them to twist things and say it's the black man's fault. Because of,
well, you know what?
And you know what, though? In those cases where a father is present, yes, it's their fault. I can't. I
can't protect the father from
I don't have mercy on any man or any woman that exposes their child to a dangerous situation. I don't. So
well, I would say normally black men do not allow something like this to happen. I think but there's an exception to every rule. So these black men letting a grown R. Kelly touch on their kid and do all kinds of stuff to their kid, those are the exceptions to the rules. Is it their fault? In my opinion, yes, it is their fault because you're their daddy. If they underage and you their daddy, it's your fault. That's just how I look at it. Period. You know what I'm saying? So them dudes, yeah, I ain't got no good words for them. You know,
I can't. You stupid dog. That's all I gotta say. You stupid. I can't do it. Like this.
I'm just saying to normal black men though, if a normal black man, if he hear his daughter is being messed with by a grown man, him and his buddies is gonna tear dude up. Plain and simple.
Oh yeah. Like I got we like that in our family. I mean, you know, we just like I feel like because of the reaction we have, some of us can't wait to get up in the morning and hear something that happened. I mean, shit. This whole, but it's a dumb narrative anyway. This whole black men aren't protecting black women narrative, and I mean, like I realize there's some bitch ass niggas out there, but for the most part, and I'm talking about over the 90th percentile, black men do protect black women. See, here's what it is: y'all listening to them young ass niggas online. These young ass niggas that will never touch you in a million fucking years. Y'all listen to these motherfuckers troll y'all. I mean, I'm sorry. Black men generally on the outside in the real world aren't like that. We protect our women. If you want, and if you have a complaint, if you want black men to start protecting black women, why don't these black women with these sons start raising them that way?
Bro, I mean, honestly, I don't think black women say that because of anything any dude is doing. Black women say that because they want to be perpetual victims and they don't want to take responsibility for the stuff that happens to them. So they rather blame black men for their poor choices. Well, like I said, when you talk about black women not being protected from who? The man they sleeping with. That's the only dude who really doing something to them.
Hmm.
And you
Well,
can't protect the woman from herself.
they'll make claims all day that it's white supremacy. You
I
know,
mean, they can make claims, but ain't nobody beating on black women other than the men they choose to sleep with. And from a general standpoint, yeah, you can find an exception to every rule. Yeah, I'm not gonna act like burglaries don't happen or robberies don't happen and all that, but ain't nobody really hitting on black women except the men they sleeping with. That's a voluntary thing.
see the thing, but here's the thing is too. There are two major instances where black men were protecting black women, though. At the end of the day, one of the incidents costed the man his freedom, and the other incident costed the man his life. Now, where are all these black women posting bonds for an accused pedophile, helping these guys and their families get through this horrible thing? In fact, I'm probably gonna do a video on it. I'm gonna do I'm probably gonna do an update video on Marquise McLaughlin and Melvin Harris, because those are the guys that we need to donate to, like those guys that valiantly protected their family from harm's way. But see, the thing is, they're not put in the narrative.
Of course not, because that's not the narrative that black women want to push.
I mean, and I would say that's black women more from a feminazi standpoint. Like, that there are your group of social media bitters that push this crap on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, through various publications, through corporate media, through the infamous talk show era, like all that stuff. So,
yeah.
That was a lot.
No, I mean, my thing is that's real and it's cool, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep pushing issues amongst black women. Man, I can't protect you from yourself. I cannot protect you from the dude you're having sex with. Now, you start telling me about random men attacking black women. That's a whole different issue. I don't see that as a huge problem in the community, because that if a random woman gets attacked, usually if some men around, they gonna jump all up in there and handle dude. It's all types of videos on social media where a woman got hit by a guy and the woman was in the wrong and she still gets protected by other dudes. So at the end of the day, I don't buy into that narrative. Now I do see a lot of times where women are obviously in a relationship with a guy and she gets beat or hit or whatever the case is, and then the men don't do anything as they shouldn't, because you can't protect the woman from herself.
Yeah, how many times have you heard a black man being put in jail over a black woman's lie? Now, I'm not even talking about like accusing him of anything, but it's like I'm talking about in the aspect of woman goes to her goon, dude did X, Y, and Z. He gets his boys to go take care of old dude, and now they in prison. How many times have you heard that happen?
Man, I can't even tell you. I've been hearing about that stuff since I was a child.
Yeah, so isn't that clear examples of how black men are protecting black women?
Exactly. And that's why I don't buy into that narrative at all.
Or in a lot of cases, misguided hubris. But but my point in saying that is like if my wife, granted she lies, and I hope to God that never happens because she's an honest person. If she walks up to me and say, dude across the street did something to me, I want you to handle that, I'm clearing out the fucking house.
Of course. As a man, you don't even have a choice in it. Just because it's like your manhood on the line at that point. Man, old boy done hit me. You got to do something.
And God forbid it's my 4-year-old kid, because I'm telling everybody, look, I'm in jail. I'm in jail. Don't look, did this X, Y, and Z happen? My kid, that's all she wrote. I'm in jail. I'm awaiting trial.
Which is totally understandable.
So, and then like, so when they sit up on these panels, and you know these guys sitting up here listening to these females talk like this, it's like, and then they turn around and stand up for what the females are saying. Isn't that a form of protecting women?
Of course it is, and women use it to their advantage all the time.
Like these people, where are they getting this shit from? It's like I mean, not the victim blame, but you know, I tell people all the time, don't put yourself in a dangerous situation. Don't. I know you might be going into an area ridden with crime to hang out, but do you really have to be there? And if something happens to you and you were warned about said area, could you have prevented it? But just by simply not going.
Of course they have, but that would make sense. And they would have to be involved with leadership in order to listen to that. And a lot of black women ain't gonna do that because they reject black male leadership. That's just the reality of it. And then on top of that, at the end of the day, they're being protected. They can go into bad neighborhoods. And niggas don't even got to know them. If they just see a woman getting hit on, or a man even talking to her too rough, they gonna step in. Because it's a woman. That's just how it goes.
Dude, you know how many viral videos are out there with women hitting men and their brothers just standing around and they laughing at the dude like, oh man, she getting you, dog, she getting you. But then if old dude even blinks, all the dudes in the area will jump up and rush that guy. All right, man, calm down, man, calm down, stop. Hell no, you ain't gonna do this. Like if black men were not protecting black women, if once that dude jumped up and took his revenge on that girl, all them dudes would have stood around and did nothing.
Bro, if black women weren't protecting black men, they wouldn't even be bold enough to even get in the face of black men. When you know, it's like white women. You know, they always talk about white women and how they are and how they raised, and y'all think they better than us and all that. When the last time you seen a white woman try and snap off on the dude? You don't see that. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, we know there's some white women who are going to do it because you can find people to do anything. But on a general level, you don't hardly ever see a white woman trying to snap off on a dude. And I'm not trying to say white women are better, so don't interpret it that way.
Yeah, we ain't trying to say the white women are better or anything, but you know, a white woman snapping off on her man in front of her kids in public, trying to embarrass him and belittle him.
My point is,
and I know
black women understand they're so protected. It emboldens them to disrespect black men because they know no matter how wrong they are, some dude gonna jump in to protect them. You see what I'm saying? White women don't.
I think it's an insult to me to imply.
Let me say his last part. Because I want these to go together. White women, as much as black women do, because white women know that if they act a fool on a man and a man snaps off on them or smacks them upside their head or whatever the case is, that's a lot of white men ain't finna do nothing because they gonna say, oh well, you know, she getting crazy with old boy. You know, she talking to him crazy or she talking to him slick, so they ain't finna do nothing. Black women know they could talk to a man slick and they still gonna get protection. That's why they are so bold to do it. Go ahead, brother.
But like I said, these ain't lies. I've seen so many examples of it throughout my life. You know, it's like, yeah, they will snap off on dudes and they will do it in front of people and at different venues. They will do it. But you as a man, you can't do anything. You know, like I see a lot of dudes walk away from situations where females are being snappy and just really going in.
Yeah. They even chase down behind them.
like these girls will follow behind them, yelling and screaming, and if you're not giving them no reaction, they do everything they can to get their reaction. There's barely anybody in the area that will check her. In there, they will not check her. Come on, you gotta come on. Like, no. I'm not saying like what's the solution to that? Should people just learn how to behave?
Well, my thing is for the brothers. When you see a woman acting in those kind of manners, you gotta learn how to just let that woman go. And I think A lot of smart brothers do that. They just don't bother with those women anymore. She start acting a fool, they don't date them. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all as men, you gotta learn to let women fend for themselves. If they have an issue with you being a leader, you ain't gotta protect them no more. We don't live in a society where women can't work. Let them fend for themselves. You know, if they don't like black male protection, or they feel we're subpar, you know what I'm saying? Let them make it on their own. That's all I can tell you.
But still though, you still have the argument that that if you see one getting attacked in public, that they think that you won't do anything, or they won't you, especially if it's a white man. Like I heard somebody say it yesterday. White man can beat a black woman to death in front of a black man, and a black man ain't gonna do nothing. Especially
that's just something made up. Show video proof. That's what I'd have told that person. That's just something they make up just to push their narratives. That's all that is. That, you know, that's just the outright lie. You've never heard of that ever happening.
Yeah. Well, all right. I think at this point I'm about to go ahead and end the broadcast. But I mean, it's just like, it's shocking yet not shocking, the reaction to everything that's been happening to R. Kelly, because, like, really and honestly, we live in an amoral. Years ago was just okay. Now it's like Willie and Nilly, and I would even say it was more the perception. Things weren't okay. They were more under a subculture. Some of these things are just coming to the surface right now. People just like not giving a fuck anymore. But for me though, is like, where is the outrage from our women when it comes to other women that do this for these monsters? I mean, the molestation narrative always is pinned on the guys, but you know, if you look up certain stats and percentages, the number of female molesters and abusers are abnormally high. Like, and speaking of which, didn't R. Kelly's sister molest him?
Yeah, but nobody cares about that because that's a woman molesting a male. So, you know, and that's just the way it goes in the black community, just like other communities. As long as the woman is a victim, it's an issue. But anytime the male is a victim, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and nobody's giving them that pass. You know, it's like, even under those circumstances, I don't think he should get a pass. But, you know, as far as pointing out narratives and hypocrisy, I think that right there is an important fact. That will, you know, how he became the person that he was, and how we relate this to other situations that we, you know, call ourselves getting outraged about.
Well, I do agree with that, but my thing is, like, that's why I brought up the fact that, watch what happens. They'll go after him, but are they gonna go after the parents? Not gonna happen. Why? Because a woman's involved. So you can't, if you go after the parents for being an accomplice to this stuff, that means you got to go after mom and dad. Well, no, we can't go after mom. So we'd rather let dad off the hook instead of going after the woman.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Let's just go after the R. Kelly because he's a man. We just leave it at that. So as long as we see our society and we as a society move in that direction, I mean, women gonna keep going crazy. They're gonna do whatever they want to do.
It's funny to me. It seems like even when R. Kelly is losing, R. Kelly is winning. It's like, even when this surviving R. Kelly hit, just like I said, the V75 incident. But see, the thing is, though, how is it walking in R. Kelly's shoes? Like, we only see what's being displayed in the media. It could be at a much bigger level than that. Like, I don't think that, like I said, R. Kelly does not have a problem getting sex at this point. Even with everything that's out there, he still won't have a problem with it. These women will still go to R. Kelly and try to live out the fantasy like they're number one.
Bro, the man had his two girlfriends run up to Cook County trying to show him support. His two girlfriends.
Two of them.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. And you know what would be hilarious at this particular point? If the man dropped a new album, just like he did last time.
Man, that shit would go platinum, double platinum in no time. Because That's how little faith I have in everybody right now as far as this situation is concerned. It's hard for me to believe anybody now. It really is. Are you really mad at R. Kelly?
Well, my thing is, it's not even about the R. Kelly ish thing to me. To me, is they support pedophilia. When, and I know a lot of people don't say that,
They
but
don't say it on the surface. They ain't gonna put it like that on the surface. Not blatantly outright like that.
nah, they're not gonna say it like that. And I know a lot of people might give me some backlash for saying it, but at the end of the day, a lot of black women just support pedophilia. They just do because the facts show it. And just like, even though R. Kelly is my favorite R&B singer, I ain't got no issue with him going to jail for getting caught up. You see what I'm saying? I ain't got no issue with that. Let him go to jail. Hey, bro, you did it. I don't got nothing to say for you. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, just like when it comes to him, I got to call the sisters out too. At the end of the day, y'all support pedophilia. And as long as y'all support pedophilia, I ain't got no, I can't defend y'all on that either. You know what I'm saying? I can't defend him for pedophilia, and I can't defend the sisters for it neither. They support pedophilia based on actions. You know, because a lot of people gonna say, "Well, that dude, he talking crazy." But nah, if I look at the actions that's going on, black women support pedophilia. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of them do. Now it ain't. I ain't gonna say it's all of them. I'm not going to say it's most of them, even though they do claim that most of them have been involved in some type of sexually abusive relationship before they hit 18 years old, and yet they ain't telling on these people. But and that's self-admitted. You know what I'm saying? So how do I interpret that other than the fact that they support pedophilia?
There's many ways to interpret it, but
I mean, with everything else that's going on, I'm gonna say that.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as these girls are freshmen and sophomores in high school, and they get to keep coming home with these new dresses, new gym shoes, new earrings, cell phones, and all this type of stuff, and these parents know they ain't buying it, you know your child sleeping with a grown man. You just cool with it.
And that's a problem. That's definitely a problem. So just the moral to the story is have the same energy across the board. Period. I mean, money, trinkets, all the other stuff. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. What matters is the welfare of our children, and not exposing them to monsters. Period. It's nothing short of not shocking that this would happen with R. Kelly. But it's just that, I don't know, I feel like it's appalling to the point is, if y'all really wanted R. Kelly gone, if black people in general really wanted R. Kelly gone, this man would have been gone by now.
Well, I believe that, and I do believe it actually, it shows something I've been trying to highlight to people. When it comes to sisters have been so trained in white supremacy and have not let it go, because we've been hearing about this stuff for decades. The white man said it's time to be mad at him again, so they put out the special. Now, certain people act like they got a problem with him, but then yet he can get out of jail over what some woman did. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. I got the bread. I know you're struggling right now. I got the bread to get you out. Here you go. And even if she wouldn't have done it, you already had other women talking about, well, let's do a GoFundMe so we can get his bail up. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? How do you look at these actions of women and say they don't support pedophilia? It's for me, that's hard to. I can't separate.
I mean, in theory, yes. When you say it like that, it does sound strong. So in theory, yes, I can see that. But I would say that they support R. Kelly definitely.
Well, yeah, they definitely support R. Kelly. I'm just saying it because when I look at those particular things, and then how the non-famous people live their regular day-to-day life, they don't seem to have a problem with it. They just don't, And like I said, I know I'll catch some heat probably for saying that, but in my world, 2 + 2 always equal 4. Now, and don't get me wrong, I'm a person that likes R. Kelly music. I listen to R. Kelly music. But bro, I can't help you when you get caught up for being a pedophile. I ain't got no good words for you. So even that whole I'm just so gone because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of his music too. Yeah, I still can't support, and I can't help it, brother. When you get caught up on some pedophile stuff, I ain't got no help for you. I'm not putting no money on no GoFundMe so you can get out of jail. I ain't doing none of that.
Okay then. Well, is that going to be your final thoughts, Mr. Steven, sir?
Well, yeah, I guess at this moment that's gonna have to be my final thoughts. Is black people stop supporting pedophilia. Period. Just don't. And that way you won't even have to have certain discussions like this. I don't care even if it is by a famous nigga. If the man is touching little girls, we just shouldn't be cool with it. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And stop being mad just because the white man told you to be. If you're gonna be mad about it, be mad about it because that's how you process it, and that's how your real feelings are. But if the white man got to tell you to be mad about a situation, man, don't even listen to that. Period. You got to start living by your own moral code. You need to get your own moral code. Period. And that'll be my final thoughts. Outside of check out Roger Stevens on the Roger Report, y'all. All right, and I'm out.
All right, and this is my final thoughts. There's always going to be a certain level of accountability when it comes to your actions, and I personally think that yes, I am accountable for my own actions. Would I expect any support if I did something like that? No, I wouldn't. But at the same time, I'm not inside of the head of a person like that because I'm not that kind of person. But just saying on the outside looking in, you're probably not going to get any support from me. And I'm saying that as a parent. And I don't care how famous you are. If I even hear some shit, just faint, I'm not going to expose my kid to you. Period. I'm talking about like, even like mall appearances. I'm talking like that. Mall appearances, book signings, anything. I'm going to keep my kid away from you. And if you somehow make it toward my kid, then that's when I become super dad. So, but R. Kelly. But as far as R. Kelly goes, whatever he did it to himself. There's no urgency at all for me to support the man whatsoever in any aspect. There's no urgency. There's no need to explain. In fact, after this, to me, on this channel, he's a non-matter. This is going to be the last time. It probably won't be the last time R. Kelly is brought up, but it's probably going to be the last dedicated R. Kelly video. Because I'm basically, at this point, I'm done with the conversation. I'm not convinced that people out there really hate R. Kelly. Not even after this. Even after this. Because we are supposed to be protecting our black women. We are supposed to be protecting them. And then it's like, so we protect black women, and then black women go behind our backs and do things that won't get them any protection. I'm sorry. You run into the shit storm after we try to do everything that we can for you to avoid that shit storm. Personal accountability, folks. Personal accountability. And by all means, protect our children. Period. Protect our children. All right. Like, share, subscribe. I hope everybody's having a great day. My next broadcast is tonight. We're going to go over the political landscape from 2008 till present day. We're going to be talking about presidential election, all that stuff. Especially the one that is interesting to me is the 2016 election. Like the whole campaign from beginning to end. And I have a brief analysis on how I think Trump became president. So this is what we're gonna explore. We're gonna explore the political presidential landscape from 2008 to present day. Be looking for that tonight. Also, subscribe to this channel, the BMBBH panel channel, where I really like, because my Hangouts is working here. I really haven't done anything on that channel, but in case something happens here, that is my backup channel. So please support and go over there, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also subscribe to the Roger Report, and also subscribe to our fellow habitual line stepper, Donnie Casanova. His name of his channel is You Ain't Shit for Watching. Thank you. Have a nice day. Peace.